just the way I lift the kid up and throw him. That's like where I just made it up. No joke. Like that's the best way to describe it. Like I made it up. Every single one of the places I've gone to, and they're like, I don't know if that'd work on our kids. And then I hit it.
That is so awesome.
I hit it on someone, and then they're like, "Oh, okay, yeah." It actually does.
This guy doesn't put any condiments on anything. It's messed up.
No, that is. You like I save myself like 100-some thousand calories a year.
Alright guys, welcome back to another podcast. Today we are joined by Clay Radenz. He is a U20, U23, and senior level All-American. He is a top 10 high school hurdler in North Dakota. Most recently, he is a silver Pan Am medalist. So, welcome Clay.
How you guys doing? Thanks for having me on today.
Of course. Happy to have you on. Happy to have you on.
Mr. North Dakota himself. Something to say.
That's right.
So where are you like actually from in North Dakota though?
So
Where are you actually?
somewhere in North Dakota. No, I'm from Bismark. Like I'm associated with Bismark. I live outside of Bismark, about like 15 miles or so, but associated with Bismark pretty much since I was born. Lived there almost all my life. I lived in Lincoln a little bit, but
Lincoln, Nebraska?
no, like Lincoln, North Dakota.
Oh,
It's like south part of Bismarck.
How many people live in Lincoln?
Like 1,000.
Yeah, that's nice.
It's like basically like a neighborhood. But
So you were there when you were young?
yeah, my parents had a place, and then we moved up north to Bismarck again, and just been chilling there pretty much.
Nice. And now you're north side Bismarck, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep. So I live north side Bismarck, and then family has like a ranch and farm north of Wilton, which is like 30, 40 minutes north of Bismarck.
Sure. So that's like Wilton Wayne, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Wilton, Wayne, Washburn, that area.
Sure.
So when you were in Lincoln, did your parents still have that farm they're running right now?
Yeah. Well, that's like my family's always had that, and then I don't even know why we live in Lincoln, to be honest. But
How many generations has that farm been through?
so I think it's kind of a cool story about how our family actually started it. So my grandpa's dad had all the land. I don't know too much about it before him, but he had all the land. And so there's my grandpa, his brother, and sister. And the sister went up north, kind of had their own thing going. And then it was between basically my grandpa and his brother. They both were going to college. My grandpa was going to become an auto mechanic down in Washburn. And then his dad had an accident, ended up falling. He had to come home to help out for the time being, and ended up just being done with school, took over the whole farm. And then, he's been ripping that, and my grandpa ain't gonna retire until he's
in the grave.
Yeah.
Yeah, I swear that's every farmer. They just can't give it up. It's like you feel like you've done it for so long, and it's your identity, and then it's like, well, what do I really do now? And I think it helps people live longer too. You feel like you have a sense of self-worth. Like you see it all the time. People when they retire, they just die because they have nothing left to live for. And maybe that's because they're getting old, but I think it's partially because like they do nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's still flying around, running up and down tractors and then out pushing cattle and everything. Like he loves that. But
How many cattle do you guys have on that?
I believe it's anywhere from just depends on when you count them because they just sold a bunch, but it could be anywhere from I think 300 to 600, 700.
Dang.
Serious.
So they just sell the calves basically.
Yeah. Kind of just depends on my uncle has some, me and my brother have some, everyone kind of's got a piece of some, but it fluctuates so much, and they sell they sell a lot too.
Sure.
So.
Yeah, because the markets are good right now, right? So you're trying to sell as much as you can.
Because I almost sold a calf to Bruce Mo like a month ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, we couldn't figure out how to get the calf from basically Wilton all the way south of the cities where he wanted to bring it.
Mm.
And I'm like, I can't hold up.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a long way.
And then I got to bring a stock trailer all the way down there and then all the way back.
Yeah, that's probably like $300 in gas.
Oh no, that's just like it's way more.
Really? Yeah, I suppose.
Diesel.
Yeah, that diesel ruins ya. So you should give me a breakdown of kind of like your younger years, like say, I don't know, 5 years old till you got to like high school, and you can go into high school then after that. But kind of whatever you want to touch on, I'd like.
Make sure you like get closer to the
Very
some.
I want to check, make sure this thing's on.
But I mean, I guess I could say, well, we live out of town. We kind of everyone when we were younger called me and my brother the Dirt Brothers, because like I'm Clay, my brother's Cole,
Oh yeah,
so we're both like
and you live out of town, so that just really doubles down on that.
we're both like dirt mineral. So
Yeah.
and the reason we got the name was because we were always playing in the dirt. Just having a fun time. Like
Yeah.
like we as soon as the sun came up, we were in that dirt until like sun went down. My mom was pulling us in the shower. But
Yeah.
playing with what you call it, like Tonka trucks.
Yeah.
And
Oh, yeah.
I
that.
used to do that all the time too.
Oh yeah.
Until like they got us 4-wheelers. That was that was like a new opening for us.
Yeah, that opened another chapter.
And we got those and started ripping those around the yard. That was pretty fun. I did like everything with my brother when I was younger though.
Yeah.
We always were together, even though like a lot of times I'd hurt him or like he'd get hurt and I'm like, hey, I swear if you tell mom.
It's like you just gotta get up.
It was always like that.
Yeah.
And we had a love-hate relationship, but
You guys get along now.
oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, I'm actually moving to Bismarck with him, moving in with him in Bismarck in like a month or so.
Oh, that'll be sweet.
So, yeah, he's pretty excited. It's his like first time leaving home, I guess.
Yeah.
It's like he's going to school in Bismarck, so just really kind of stayed at home.
Yeah, he's going to Bismarck State.
Yep.
Yeah. Did you just graduate high school? Or is he?
No, he just finished college.
Oh.
Like he'll be finishing college this week.
Oh.
Yeah,
So you guys are the same age?
No, he's 2 years younger.
Oh.
It's a 2-year.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
This is like a 2-year program, and then he's going to school for diesel mechanics. So
Yeah, he'll probably get a good job right out. I bet you.
yeah, he'll be up at like Falkirk Mine.
Oh sure.
He's got everything set up, dude. I gotta do kudos because like he's got his stuff figured out pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
A little more than like what I wish I was kind of like had it figured out a little better, but
Yeah, it's crazy how fast somebody can, if they want to go 2-year route, like you can get in, get out, and start making so much money so quickly. I feel like we're finally now, especially with like Charlie Kirk, people are opening their eyes to like, man, this really makes sense versus going to a 4-year, getting in a ton of debt, and then still making like the median salary. It's like it just doesn't really add up for a lot of things.
For college, I think it's pretty BS unless you're like a Division I athlete or like a college athlete at the next level personally.
if I didn't wrestle in college, I would like 100% go the trade route.
For sure.
That's where I'd be at.
Yeah, I feel like it's basically a scam other than if you're an athlete, doctor, lawyer, or engineer.
Like one of those very specific.
Yeah, where you have to go to college,
Yeah.
but it's like pretty much everything else, it's like you can just watch a YouTube video. Basically,
Yeah.
pretty much.
To an extent, yeah.
Yeah.
But like even like now, like you can do it right in high school because like I did my trade school in high school. So,
Yeah,
And like for that, like half my school went to the trade school.
right.
So like all of us coming out of high school, we could go straight into work and
Really?
making money. Yeah. So I came out of high school certified in welding. So I
No
went
way.
straight in. Yeah.
Dude, see now that's nice.
Yeah.
I hope it starts going more that route because I feel like a lot of kids, by the time they're in like 10th grade, they kind of know like this school thing isn't really for me.
Yeah, that was me.
Yeah,
So
And I didn't have to pay for any of that. Like the school covers the trade school.
man.
So it's basically like go learn a trade for free,
Mhm.
and then you're set up for after high school.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
so it was like one of your classes in high school?
yeah. So I like in the morning, all morning I'd go to a trade school and then do the trade, which was welding.
Mhm.
And some people did HVAC, people did cosmetology. I mean, it had everything.
Oh.
And so yeah, we go up there in the morning, do that, and then we come back and do classes the other half of the day.
Was there like a bunch of schools in the area that was like that?
Yeah.
I've
Like
never
every
heard of
school in
that.
the area came there too. They sent kids.
That's kind of Bismark like did like that with like BSc kind of, because I took carpentry for one of my classes, but like I don't know it's like similar to yours but not like on that kind of level though.
And like your senior year, they'll set it up so you can co-op with like a job too. So basically, you're set up out of high school with a job already. That you probably would work there senior year. So you're basically already set up.
Yeah, and that is like so how it should be.
Yeah.
I feel like there's way too many people that get to the end of high school and they're like, what am I doing? You know?
Or most go to college, just go to college.
Yeah,
Because they don't know what else to do.
for sure.
100%.
Sorry, my alarm went off. I got like 20 alarms set throughout like the day because I just got like a bunch of stuff on my plate I gotta take care of. But yeah, no. Where was I going? Oh yeah, college, I guess.
Yeah, I was even gonna ask you. Do you have anything like in your younger years that you really sticks out from you in childhood? Like I know for me, my big thing was the bus. Like the bus
We were on the bus too.
came and picked me up, and a lot of people hate on the bus, but I love the bus. We played like Beyblade on there.
Oh, yeah.
and it was
Oh, yeah.
like, oh yeah, that was the thing. So I was wondering if you had anything like that.
I used to ride the bus all the time. Me and my brother, we'd be on that jump early in the morning.
Oh yeah.
You're riding it, and the thing is though, so where we live, we were kind of like I went to it'd be a legacy. I went to elementary school with like all legacy kids, and I was like going to that feeder school. But then like the way it ended up playing out, I went to Horizon for middle school, which was all Century. So I lost like all my friends, and it was like a whole new group.
Yeah, that was probably hard.
Elementary to middle school, and then middle school to high school, all the same kind of kids. But like, yeah, I had that jump. Me and my brother had that jump to where it was like changed in schools and stuff, just because of like where we lived. The district being was like kind of goofy.
So is Legacy like more in the middle, or where are they?
They're like so Century's kind of the north.
Yeah.
Legacy's like east side of town, and then
Okay.
VHS is south. St. Mary's is kind of their school is up north, but like they're kind of you gotta pay to go to school there,
Right.
Like private school. But then Shiloh is just in the middle of town.
Yeah. Yeah.
But no, it's that part kind of sucked. With the whole like school transition, I'm actually really glad though that I went to like the school I went to, all that stuff, like Patriot, the way Century does stuff and everything. I just felt was like fitting for me.
Yeah.
Perfect. And like my experience in high school was with like athletics and just like school camaraderie. Like that place was like just perfect. And
Yeah.
my senior year, or like realistically throughout like all the years, like there's just they almost like set a standard for athletics in a way, to where it's like everyone's bought in, they want to win
Right.
every sport, and like that's what we did, I guess, in a way. But
Yeah. So like what sticks out the most from your high school years? Like if you had to say anything, I guess athletics is a big part of it, but
athletic, I hated like I'm still I hate school so much. Like I'm not a school guy, but
I think we all kind of fall in that category a little bit. Yeah.
I'm not big too on school. But if I could go back and do something, with like high school, it's probably be more involved a little bit. Yeah, I was like a guy that was like showed up school, did my athletics, and I cared more about that.
Yeah.
And was like more bought into that, and then outside that it was just. I also worked in high school,
Yeah.
so like, I mean, I'd probably go back and work less maybe.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
just maybe bought in a little more into like not necessarily clubs because like, but
Yeah.
just like bought into more stuff like that.
Mhm.
Same with NDSU. Like I'll be graduating in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
That's like something that I'd probably say I should have done a little better in is maybe just be more involved with the school or
Sure.
like the community, I guess.
Mhm.
I mean, I do and talk to a lot of people and everything, but just showing your face more. I
Yeah.
guess. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's tough. I feel like you got a lot on your plate, and like especially in high school, that's a big ask. You know, you go to wake up, go to school, go to practice, work. It's like it's a lot. You know, I definitely. I'm trying to punt the work ball off as long as I can. Hopefully, I never have to. I'll be like,
Yeah.
You know, it's like that shit sucks. So and I feel like you have your whole life to do that, but yeah. For sure.
I thought you were pretty involved while you were at NDSU while I was here. Like, a lot of people that I've talked to around campus, like, knows who Clay Radenz is.
Mr. North Dakota.
Legendary name.
No.
Legendary.
Yeah.
I will admit though, like, well, my grade, I guess you could say, class of 2025, there was 26 of us that started off, and then now I'm the last one, pretty much.
There was 26.
Yeah,
In your
in
class?
my class, yeah, like,
You should.
yeah, well,
What?
6 guys didn't even make it to school, and then it just trickled down from there, but, like, now that,
And you were the only one that made it through.
yeah, that's, like, graduating this year.
Wow.
Which is
That is
it's
crazy.
kind of actually bonkers that I'm the last one.
Yeah.
To be honest, like, if you ask
Good for you.
like,
Jeez.
if you ask any of those guys, they'd be like, "Oh yeah, Clay's not gonna be the last one."
Yeah.
This guy. But I don't know my grade. Granted, like we were a little bit wild, a little kind of wild squad.
Mhm.
But like what we did, I feel like was really cool because we were all friends, really close group, but we also had so many friends outside of athletics, like people that we'd meet and hang out with, and
Yeah.
would come over and hang out, do stuff like that. I feel like that's something that our group excelled really good at was making friends outside of athletics, you know, or like wrestling.
I feel like that's a really big thing to have. I feel like I really haven't done that at all.
Yeah, I think like my only like good friends are wrestlers.
Yeah.
All of them.
Don't really talk to anyone else.
Yeah.
That's like something that I just always clicked. I mean, I'm a pretty like open guy. Like I'll talk to anyone honestly, and just some of the people like a lot of my best friends don't even wrestle.
Yeah.
Like it's kind of crazy. Like I don't even as of right. Like I don't even live with wrestlers right now.
Mhm.
They're all just buddies I've met along the way or from back home. You know, which is I feel like that says something like for itself that like that have that ability to go out and meet people and everything.
Yeah.
I think it's great for the team
Yeah, for sure.
because like a lot of these kids like will back you, you know.
You
They'll
know,
be
at like the events and stuff.
yeah,
too.
like they'll come to like events and they'll be like,
Right.
oh, like the boys are wrestling, let's go watch them, you know,
For sure.
stuff like that. I think it's great.
Yeah. And I feel like those are connections that you can lean on your whole life. It's like, yeah, I think it can go a long way, and you never know when you might need somebody like that. So, yeah.
So like, for all my business people out there that love it, so I know you did like a pressure washing business while you were in college. So like, when did you like start that?
So, it would have been my freshman year. I had an online class, entrepreneurship, 200 something, and I'm laying in my bed, fighting sleep, watching the screen of this girl talking in the Zoom. And she's like telling us about this like this project we're doing, and I'm like, It's like head bobbing, like trying to stay awake for this class. I struggled with staying awake for classes when that wasn't. But
Yeah.
now, because I'm an all-online student now, but she's pitching us this project idea that we gotta do. And I'm like sitting there and I'm like, oh man, like what am I gonna do? Came up with a pressure washing idea. Initially the whole concept was to pressure wash houses, businesses, driveways, stuff you see on TikTok. And I started and I was like, okay, whatever, blah blah blah. Did the project, I'm like, alright, got a good grade. Didn't think anything of it. Came around to that summer because this was on the first semester, so then class was over. I went to second semester, did other classes.
And this was of your second year?
First year.
First year, okay.
First year, second semester though?
No, first year, first semester.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And then second semester came around. Didn't know what I was going to do for a summer job. And I'm like, oh, okay. I worked for this painter guy for a little bit. And he had me pressure washing houses to get the paint off. Like the old paint.
Yep.
And so then I was like, and I was seeing like what he's charging for these things because I was getting like basically the whole like thing. And I'm like, wow, he's making this much, like, and I'm only getting, granted, he was paying me very well, like, for what I was doing.
Right.
That was thankful for that, but I was like, wow, I could make some more money. So then the following summer, which would have been summer of 2023, throughout the school year, I was planning up starting this business, learning all the stuff I needed to know and how to go upon it. And then summer 2023 started it. And like within like my first week of starting it, I got like a pretty good job with Pfeiffer's Auction, which is like a farm equipment company. And I wasn't expecting that, to be honest, just due to my goal was to go around to businesses and houses and wash. So I'm like, oh, farm equipment, easy, this will be easier than what I thought it would be. And then it wasn't that easy. Farm equipment isn't that easy. It's like,
So
I kind of like meticulous to where it's like you spray something, someone else gets dirty and it drives you crazy.
Right.
And so and it's a lot bigger. Farm equipment's big.
and it's usually dirty as shit.
Oh yeah, trust me. And so I started doing that, and then it just took off, like going around meeting farmers and ranchers, and yeah, it just kept growing. I did it last summer was probably my most successful one. I was consistently busy with that. This summer though, it just depends on my schedule, but I'm gonna try and rip it as hard as I can one more year and then probably be done with it, to be honest.
I got this, okay? So you said your first job was for like that farm equipment place. How did you land that first job?
Honestly, I think it was pretty lucky they reached out to me. But like what I did, I'm not the most tech savvy guy, so like I didn't really know how to make a website or anything like that, and how to connect it to all connect everything together. Mm-hmm. So what I did is I just kept it simple and created a Facebook page, and started adding people to it pretty much. And also like you add yourself to group chat, like different groups on Facebook. And pretty much things just like click from there. Yeah. Also, it's like huge word of mouth. Like,
for sure. That's what I feel like website is so overrated. Like I think it's so much word of mouth. Like once you get that first job, it's like I bet you went into that farm business, did a good job, and then they were like, okay, this kid does a good job. And then they told some people, and it's like you can pretty much get as many jobs as you want. Then after that,
when I did that first job, as soon as I was done, I didn't have the nicest pressure washer at the time because I had just started. And I literally sold my motorcycle to pay for like to start stuff up.
Yeah.
Pretty much. And the Pfeiffer guys, they offered to buy me a hot seat, and then I just make payments back to them, and then like kind of work out a deal where I pressure wash your stuff as part of payments. But like a hot seat's gonna run you like $10,000, and I was at the time I'm like, man, I don't know if that's achievable at the time.
Yeah.
It's
so did you end up doing that or?
No, I didn't take their deal.
Sure.
But like if I did have taken their deal, I probably would have paid out pretty quick, I think, to be honest.
Yeah. So there's a hot seat that's like the best pressure washer, or
Yeah,
One of
it's,
the big ones.
it's like a big hot water one. Pretty much, you can control the temperature.
So you were doing the power wash and stuff. So like, when did you start working at FedEx then too? Or like, why did you decide to do that too?
Oh, so I want to say I worked a couple jobs in college because like I worked in high school and then I got to college, and I probably went a month into college and like wrestling, maybe 2 months, and my dad's like, "Oh, you could get a job." I'm like, ah, because I was spending a little too much money, like the money that I did have saved up. He's like, if you're gonna spend this kind of money, you gotta have a job, Like college ain't cheap, and he's like, you should just find something part time, blah blah blah. I started working at Boot Barn,
I remember that.
and I worked there for maybe a month and a half. And I was like, clothes retail is not really my thing, I guess.
Yeah.
I was like, I did like that I was getting stuff for cheap, like clothes, like discounts. But I just folding jeans like all night is not
Yeah,
my,
you gotta be a certain person to work in that avenue for sure.
And so then I left there, and somehow me and one of my buddies acquired jobs at Twin Peaks as hardbacks.
Yeah.
And so basically I was 20 years old at the time, I want to say, and 19, 20, and I don't know how I got the job, but I did. And I'm basically in charge of like restocking the Twin Peaks bar with like alcohol and like ice, drinks, like just miscellaneous things, all that, and which was actually a cool job, and I felt like I learned a lot and like matured a bit because I was working with like older people, older bartenders, stuff like that. Like Twin Peaks, it's a girls' place, all ran pretty much by girls, but like they did teach me like things in life that maybe I wanna work towards or don't wanna work towards.
Yeah.
But like they were all
Learn
good.
some lessons.
Yeah. And like they were all good mentors, and I was like a younger guy there, so they all like kind of brought me under their wing, but like picked on me and stuff like that, which was good. Left there and then found this job at FedEx, probably one of the best college jobs in my eyes you could pick up. I'm making good money, and I started off as a part-timer 2 years ago, and then I ended up just climbing my way up, and then to full-time. I've been ripping full-time for like over a year now.
Dang.
But I do that. That job's a solid job for college kids, in my opinion. You work evenings, so you have all day to do school, go to practice, all that, and then evening you go to work. And a lot of times, like, it's in the real scheme of things, like, this is easy stuff. It's not that hard. Wrestling practice is harder
For
than
sure.
like this. But like the guys that I'm surrounded, they're good people. Like you met someone this weekend, like all good guys and everything, and they make it fun, so it almost like you aren't working.
For sure. Yeah, that's what I've said is nice about wrestling too, is it's like people complain about work and they do not understand like what a wrestling practice or just like the season or the schedule, like how that hardens you. Like you're a guy who's gonna be going into stuff that's considered very hard, and it's gonna be super easy for you.
Yeah.
Just because you've gone through all the stuff that's way harder already.
Just like in life in general, like wrestling's taught me so much to where it's like I did this, and then I'm like, wow, this is a lot easier than what I just did.
It's like I get to eat and drink food and water.
Yeah.
So I'm good.
Like wrestling's taught me a lot, honestly. Like just little things like that,
For sure.
self-discipline, stuff like that. Then you bring it into real life, stuff like, and you apply it to real life things. You're like, man, this is like easy, or I understand this a lot better just because like I know some stuff.
Absolutely, for sure.
I think that's why so many wrestlers are successful too, is because their whole life they're just grinding, and then once they're done with that, they're like, wow, this life thing's like pretty easy compared to like what I did my whole life.
Absolutely.
And like when hard shit like pops up, it's like we can get through it.
Yeah.
I do think that like employers, especially in North Dakota, Bowden might know too. But like, if you wrestled or like have a wrestling background, like there's a good shot in North Dakota you could get yourself a job just based off that connection with people that are their kids are involved in it, they were involved in it, and then they understand the hardship that like we go through, and they're like, well, this kid, you know, he did wrestling, like yeah, I'll hire him, rather than like, you know, just a guy that didn't do really nothing.
Yep. And I think this like is a good thing for all of us to know, like coming out of college, if you wanna get a job somewhere, you should apply for something way more that you're not probably supposed to get. And if you go in there and sell yourself and explain like I am the man, you're probably gonna get it just because you have that backing and you can just say what you've done, and you can convince them to give you a position that you probably shouldn't have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just like self-confidence and
for sure.
I don't know. Some people think like I know for a fact some people think I'm cocky or like arrogant, but it's just like for me, I don't consider myself cocky or arrogant. It's just I'm a strong believer in myself and things I've done and done better than other people, or like they haven't experienced things I've done.
Yes.
And it just makes me like believe in myself more, to where it's like I'm that confident in myself. I'm doing something.
For sure.
Not like I'm trying to like slam it in your face and say I'm better than you. It's just I value myself, you know, more.
Yeah.
I think that's like a big misconception too, is because like a lot of people look at wrestlers like, yeah, they're really cocky, like they think themselves are so great, but it's like, it's not that at all. It's just like the confidence that like, you know you're gonna get through it. You know you can do this. Like you've been through the hard stuff, so like everything else is gonna be easy. You're just like your confidence in yourself is so high that it might come off as arrogant or cocky, but that's like not what it is at all. You're just so confident that you can do it.
Mm-hmm.
People just think it's cockiness, and they'll just label you with that. But they don't really understand it.
And it's just like it's not really you being cocky, it's just you're putting a fact out there. Like you're putting a fact that I've done this and essentially I'm above you a little bit just because I have done it. And it's like, I'm not saying that, oh, you're a worthless person as a human being, but it's like, I know what I've been through. I know you haven't been through it, so why are you equal to me?
Yeah.
You know? Yeah.
No, definitely like I definitely ran into that, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
You could say.
I definitely have too in my life.
Yeah, we should get a little bit into the Greco world. How'd you get into that? Like, cause you weren't big into it probably until late high school, right? Or
Mm-hmm. So as a kid, I just wrestled freestyle Greco. It was like, you know, after season, North Dakota, everyone you get to just wrestle freestyle Greco for fun, you know. And then I just kept wrestling it, and then I want to say it was like later high school. I hit a kid in reverse lift out of nowhere, which is what I'm good at. And
was this like practice room or
no competition? Just
like a local tournament?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to say it was like in Minot or something. But like my reverse lift is different than everyone else's.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of guys just they'll bring you up onto their knees and then step up and throw you. Mine is like
yeah, you literally just use your fingertips and just like
yeah,
It's actually insane when we like watching you just get under, pick them up, and then whoop, they're gone.
Yeah, and that's how.
Yeah, I have to ask this real quick. Can you deadlift a ton? I feel like it will only make sense.
I can like deadlift and power cleans are my number one lift.
Yeah.
That or like overhead bench press.
Sure.
Not bench press, but like overhead stuff.
Yeah.
And I was like really good at that, and then like in the last like recent like month or two, I like messed up my shoulder, like tore the labrum in my shoulder. So then like I, instead of lifting heavy weights, started doing circuits and stuff.
Sure.
Like I do like lifting heavy weights.
Yeah.
It's just like something. When I got to college at first, I was small, tiny guy, weak.
Yeah, because they had you coming in at 41, right?
Yeah. And I couldn't even bench 135 when I got to college. And then after my junior year, or it would have been, my junior year, so summer of whatever, I benched 250 PR. And I'm like, it's a pretty good jump, you know, and just started growing. The only thing I wish I did, like, granted, like, I'm a 57, around a 57 size.
Yep.
But, like, I would lose the gains I was making in the weight room when I start cutting weight.
For sure.
57.
Yep. It does suck when you have to do that because it's like it feels like you backtrack all the work that you put in. Like I felt it so bad when I make weight. It's like I feel like I have to restart and all my stuff goes down so much.
Yeah.
But
Like when I came back on Thursday for that squat PRs.
Yeah.
Oh, it was a rough day.
You were butthurt
Yeah,
about
I was
that.
pissed off. I was so pissed.
Butthurt about that.
Cause it's like weight that I know I can do for 3, I couldn't even get for 1. I
Yeah.
was like, what the hell?
Yeah.
It is crazy the setbacks it makes.
Yeah.
Cause like I went in that day, I'm like, I'll just get 315. It's not too that's reasonable. Like you couldn't even get 295, and I was just like, what the hell is wrong with me?
I wonder if there's like a way that you can cut weight better to try to mitigate that, or if like you're just completely screwed.
So I gotta talk about this a little bit and throw a little plug in. So I talked to this guy at the US Open. He's starting a little thing, it's called TNP Nutrition. And I was kind of looking at some of his stuff and he's starting to work with guys all across the country. So he's got this science down from, he basically copied it, or I don't know if copy is the right word, but is using off of the best UFC trainer, like for cutting weight. He's using the same program. So what he does is like 6 days out, you'll start going, and so everybody's thing, and it's all water is his big thing, water and sodium. So his cut, so for a 170 pound guy, I just know mine because I was looking at it, you can cut 10 pounds and you'll feel the exact same, you're still at 100%, and it's what he claims. I haven't done it yet, and I'm gonna do a test run to see what happens. But so most people, what they're doing is they're slowly tapering, right? Like I'm sure you guys have all cut weight, your water will slowly go down, or maybe you don't start that till 2 days before, whatever, or your food will slowly go down.
Portion size.
Yeah, so his thing is keep your food the exact same. Food won't change. The only thing is if you're cutting a lot and maybe right at the end, you'll change, like you'll still get 2,000 calories in, but instead of eating a voluminous 2,000 calories, you'll eat a condensed 2,000 calories. So instead of eating egg whites, you'll eat avocado or something like that. So it's like, it actually weighs less on the scale. But with his water thing, so the first thing is you have to be adequately hydrated to start. So like I was working with him a little bit, found out like I am super dehydrated like on a normal day. So that's why I started having to get this in, because he wants me at about 150 ounces of water, which is like just over a gallon. And that's also, if you go to practice, whatever you lose in practice, you have to drink back. So that's to maintain base hydration, and then I need 3,600 milligrams of sodium. And then from there, basically, so that'd be like a normal day, and then you would slightly up that on days 6 and 5, and then day 4 and 3, you'd up it a little more. Day 2, you'd up it a little more, and then day 1 is like way high. And then on the last day, you only go back down to your normal. And then by doing that, he claims you can lose 10 pounds and you still feel the same. So I'm pretty interested to see if it works, but it's like a new thing. But yeah,
That'd be a nice.
Yeah, it'd be real nice if it works, that's for sure. But
I tried like a different couple ways of like cutting weight. I can't for sure say like that's my dad. There ain't no, like I perfected cutting weight over the years.
yeah,
I spent a lot of time cutting weight throughout the years. I mean, I feel like a prime example, because I cut weight, like my 2-year younger brother, Cole, he's 2 years younger than me, is like, he's almost 6 feet, or is 6 feet, and like, strong, he's not stronger than me. He's not, but
he's bigger.
he's bigger.
Yeah.
Than me. And like my dad's also a big guy, and then I'm like,
Yeah, your dad's really big.
like
Tall dude.
yeah. And like me, I'm just like, chilling. But like my brother didn't cut weight in throughout wrestling. I've cut like throughout the years, like depending on the year. Some are worse than others, but I mean, I feel like I kind of, especially this past 2 months, with going to Mexico and then coming back and then going to Vegas, I definitely was on a good routine, and like one of the big things for me was water.
Yeah.
But I never mastered it. There's always like
For
something
sure.
new.
Yeah. I'm interested to play around with it because when you think about actual weight manipulation, I don't think food has as much to do with it as you maybe think in your brain. Like I think the water is the main thing, and I feel like if you can do that and maintain decent hydration, you can lose a ton of weight and you're still gonna have a lot of energy. So
Yeah, I think that's like mainly what the UFC guys too
Mhm.
do too, is because they you see how big they are right before or after they make weight, and it's more about just getting all the water weight off. Because you'll see them, they'll be like in a sauna, in a hot tub,
yeah.
and then they'll get the blankets on them and
Mhm.
stuff, and they're basically just getting that water weight off. But like the difference is they have a whole day,
They do.
and we
Yeah.
we're 2 hours.
Yeah,
So I think that's like
Right.
it's hard to maybe do the same things because the recoveries, it's a whole different
Yeah.
process. Like those guys are putting on 20 pounds
For sure.
and it's the next day and they're fine.
Yeah.
And
So that's like this guy, he was talking about how it's like you're actually, you're dehydrating your body, but you're only coming back down to base level hydration. So you're still hydrated. Where like if you were doing that UFC, you'd do that big jump and then you would cut it all. And then you would put it back on because you have a day. Where like with this, you only have 2 hours, so it's like that's a little different for sure.
What do you guys think is like the most important part about like the refueling process? So like, what's like your go-to like meals to like make you feel the best?
Clay, start with you here.
Definitely electrolytes. In like this recent like last 2 years or so, the first thing I'll drink is like I like those little Gatorade electrolyte drinks.
Yeah.
I like those. Or Propel. I'm a big Propel guy, to be honest.
Yeah, Propel tastes good.
And then like I would, this recent last year, I would try and carb overload. So like pancakes, hash browns, eggs, sausage were usually like my go-tos. Mexico, I couldn't have none of that. So they regulated us down.
No way. So what'd you have?
I had like it was like this like makeshift kind of oatmeal thing,
Okay.
and I was like,
It's not too bad.
I'm like, this is what I'm gonna be fighting on.
Yeah.
All right, let's do it.
Yeah.
And then because we couldn't have fruit, nothing down there is wild, but
No way.
and then like Vegas we had like eggs and stuff,
Sure.
chicken, good like that. But
Yeah.
I like pancakes.
Yeah.
Pancakes pretty good.
Pancakes are pretty good. For sure.
Sometimes they overfill me though a little bit. I feel
Yeah.
like.
For sure.
I feel like it's hard right after you weigh into. It's so hard not to freaking eat too much because you're just like you want to go to town.
Yeah, you do.
Like you gotta find that happy medium where like
You do.
yeah, that's enough food that I need that'll help me, but it's not too much. I'm gonna feel like shit and my stomach's gonna be full when I rush it.
Mhm.
And it's a hard line to stay between, and really like
It is.
the discipline there to try and control yourself is really hard sometimes.
Mhm.
But I'm with Clay. I love like right after just getting electrolytes. Like big Ultima guy. I love Ultima, and that's what I use right away. Drink some of that, and like get some fruit in, and a little like bread or like pancakes are good, but usually like a bagel or something. Go to and then have some fruit like watermelon, banana.
Yeah.
But I think that's
For sure.
easy go to.
Yeah, I feel like you really can't go too wrong as long as you just need adequate amount of carbs and you need electrolytes back in your body. Like for me, I have like a perfect system down that where I feel full enough but not too full. My go-to is I go 3 pounds of water and I do 1 scoop of, I have 1,000 milligrams of sodium in my electrolyte, and then I do 1 cup of dry oatmeal and then water in there, and then I lather that with honey and 1 banana. And that's all I need. I feel great. I've played around with protein, but I just feel like it's a waste of time, especially for like the 2-hour stuff. Like if I know, like for the US Open tournament, I added in a little protein because I knew that I was gonna need a little more. But like if it's a duel, I'm not effing with the protein. You don't need it. You just need the carbs. But yeah.
Yeah.
So personally, like what I did this year, like even when I go to the open tournaments and stuff, was weigh in, then go to like a diner, and it always be some sort of like toast, eggs, and then like bacon or like sausage,
Yeah,
and a lot of water.
for sure.
A lot of water.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, and I feel like everybody's body is just a little different too.
Yeah.
I wish there was a perfect answer, but
Yeah.
there's not.
Yeah, that's another big factor. Is like mine's way different than yours, and
Yeah.
what's worked for Cody doesn't work for Clay. And
For
it's
sure.
just you gotta find your thing.
Yeah.
Like, just work through it.
Yeah. Back to the deadlift. What's the most you've ever deadlift?
I tried going for 500.
Holy
When,
shit.
like,
Did you get it?
No.
Okay. So we'll call it 495.
Like, I think it was like it was like 460. And then
Oh yeah.
I was like, I want to go for 5.
Yeah. Gotta get that 5.
Didn't
Didn't get it.
I
Shit
thought-
bar?
AJ Ferrari, he's coming. Just saying.
Like hex. I can't with X straight lift. Like, which I actually am pretty good at. But it's just like, I feel like I'm throwing my back out every time. You know?
Yeah, because you kind of got the forward lean. For sure.
But like hang clean or like power cleans, that one I like shout out to Coach Ike for helping me like the last like 2 years like critique that, because like I mean I was mediocre and I got a weird lift to where it's like I bring it up but I don't like really drop,
Yeah.
so it's almost like I just like
Yeah, you are so
Bring
good
it
at
all the way.
hang clean.
Yeah.
I could not believe it. I was like, and this dude doesn't go down.
yeah.
It's like,
I wish I could figure out how to, but like
dude, if you could do a house.
and like Coach Ike tried like helping me and I just couldn't. I just got all the way up.
Yeah.
Like, but that's something that I worked on or like tried to perfect for like 2 years or like it was one of my favorite lifts every time it came on
Yeah,
the card.
for
And
sure.
then like I definitely think Ike helps with that stuff too, cause like I couldn't even do 135 before I came up here, and then I think I got 175 the other day. So
Yeah, the weight program's pretty good.
Yeah.
I've
I mean,
been pretty happy with it.
Yeah, I mean, you can see all of us. Our numbers are going up
Yes.
very high.
Yes.
It's cool to see.
It's interesting too because, and maybe I shouldn't be putting this out here, but we're big on like, I've never done it like that before. Like we'll do 3x3 a lot, or we'll do like low reps, and it's like my whole life it was always like 6, 8, 12,
yeah,
15, and then it's like here it's just not really what you do. But I feel like when it comes to those lifts, that's how you get stronger. Is those less reps.
If you're doing 10 reps for bench, I don't think that's nearly as beneficial if you're doing like 4 to 5, because you're gonna be able to do more weight, and you're gonna get the I think a better stretch, and overall it works out better.
For sure.
I think it's all about like the actual like fatigue, cause when you're going 10 reps, like that first 7 reps, it's like
Yeah.
you don't have that amount of weight to it. But when
Yeah.
you're doing like 3 reps, you're like, okay, let's load the bar out.
Yeah, you hit that for sure. When you do 10, you kind of like hit that wall. And I'm not saying never do that, but I feel like it's definitely better doing a little less. Yeah.
I know I was definitely like not as excited when I saw a lot more reps. Like
Yeah.
seemed like the low like a Monday morning you get the card and then you're like, all right, we only got like 2, 3 sets. I'm like, all right, that's it, let's go. Instead of like 10, I'm like,
It's like, oh
Yeah.
god. But you do, because you do gotta like the deload or whatever. There's a lot of science behind it that I don't really know, but yeah, it's interesting. So yeah, I kind of cut you off with the Greco earlier. Should come back to that.
so yeah, no, it all started pretty much when I hit some kid in a reverse lift. And
Yeah.
it wasn't even like they showed us. It just like kind of happened, and that's where I got that whole like, just the way I lift the kid up and throw him. That's like where I just made it up.
Yeah.
I know, like, no joke. Like that's the best way to describe it. Like I made it up, and I honestly like the world level, and the senior level, in like U23s, I haven't seen a single kid do that kind of reverse lift.
Yeah.
Everyone's like needs to lock it up and then pick them up and throw them. And I'm the only kid out there that, and I've been to Michigan, Wisconsin, Minnesota, Colorado for training for Greco, and they're all like, oh, what the fuck? Like, what's how do you do this? Like, why are you doing it that way? And then
Yeah.
every single one of the places I've gone to, and they're like, I don't know if that'd work on our kids. and then I hit it.
Oh, shoot.
I hit it
That
on
is so
someone.
awesome.
I hit it on someone, and then they're like, "Oh, okay, yeah, it actually does." Like I might not get it the first time, but like I will get one on someone or like one of your guys. Like that's my goal, and like I love that. But yeah, no. Then high school, I went to Fargo. First year of Fargo, I actually did better in freestyle. I lost some blood rounds in freestyle and cadets, and then Greco I got worked up pretty bad. And next year, did better in Greco freestyle. I kind of pushed off, and then went into juniors. I believe it's right. Juniors.
Yeah.
Started really picking up Greco. Lost some blood round. Oh, actually, my junior year didn't have it. COVID.
That's right.
Or something like that. And then the next year, blood rounds, and I lost to the kid I lost to, Richard. He wrestled for Columbia. I was actually teammates with him when we were on the Pan Am team, and we were talking about it because he said, "I think we wrestled before," and I was like, "No, we did." Like blood rounds, Fargo.
Because wasn't it like you were winning by a lot?
I was winning like
pin.
5-0, and there was probably like a minute and a half left.
Oh my goodness.
And I went for a front head, and then Richard clamped down, and I fell back on my back. And I swear it was the fastest pin of my life. Like, boom, touch pin.
Yeah.
Like, I touched my back, and it was over.
Some bullshit.
And I was, like, so devastated.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I'm never going to get a stop sign. And I was just like, I wanted to be done with wrestling, honestly, for that second.
Yeah.
And came to college, and Obi's like, he was there, but like Obi wasn't running like the freestyle aspect, I guess, as much. And whoever was running Greco at the time, which wasn't Bruce, didn't let me wrestle in Vegas for Greco. It was just freestyle.
Really?
And so I was like, like I wanted to wrestle Greco. Not that I was that good at it yet, but I wanted to try it.
Yeah.
And then come around like the next year, Bruce Mo took me under his wing and like just taught me all this wizardry,
Yeah.
Greco stuff you could say.
All the tricks.
And then just kept growing. Got All-American at U23s, like a taste of it, and I was like, oh, this is fun, you know.
Yeah.
And then
What place did you get U23?
I got fifth,
Fifth.
and then I got third
Yeah.
the following year.
Yeah.
I remember before I came, I saw you got third. I was like, damn,
Yeah.
we got a guy getting third.
I should have won it, I think, and the reason I didn't win it was because I got headlocked. Like,
Really?
and then I came back on the backside, and because that kid was winning his next match too, and got headlocked. I'm like, oh, what coincidence. And
So
then,
you wrestled him again?
Yeah, I came back and wrestled him for third and fourth, and I teched him in
yeah.
like 30 seconds.
Oh yeah. Stick
I
it.
hit him with like 2 reverse lifts, and then I was like, yeah, all right.
See you later, buddy.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, he did.
But then after that, I won. Like this last August, I started getting like senior exposure.
Yeah.
Like I mean, me and Cody both finished top 6 in the country for, was it senior nationals?
Senior trials.
Senior trials, in Nebraska, and then in Vegas, I came in as like a 13th seed. I beat the 5, 6, 7, 9, and 10 seeds,
Yeah.
which is like not bad. And
It's really good.
I was like one of the younger guys in my bracket, and I finished with 8th. Granted, not the best finishing I wanted, and I would have liked to finish better, but there's like, I don't know.
I mean, you were seated 13th, you know?
Yeah.
That's damn good. You take
Yeah.
that stop sign all day long. So are you interested in competing still, or is that kind of done?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm actually really interested in competing and trying to make the senior team
Yeah.
and everything. But the part I'm still trying to figure out is like I wrestle in non-Olympic weight class. So I wrestle 72 kilos.
That sucks.
If I wanted to train for the Olympics, say, or like Team USA, which in the whole scheme of it, I would try to wrestle to make it to the Olympics.
For sure.
Like coming up in 3 years. And I continue to train and then build myself and try and make a world team and Olympic team. But the thing is though, like my weight class is not an Olympic weight. So I either go up or it's only going up.
Because
I'm
you
not
wrestled
going down.
72 normally. So, and what is it, 77? The next one up?
Yep.
So,
Which is like
what is that?
169.5, something like that.
So you would spend.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta go up. You gotta go up.
Yeah.
Because it's like, I mean, what's the weight now?
67.
Oh my god, what is
Which
that?
is
148?
Yeah, something like really low. And it's not possible for
Yeah.
me to make that.
And it'd be more fun too. You go lift and just try to get huge.
Mhm.
Like I remember, I'm sure you know who Peyton Jacobson is.
Yeah.
He like Drexler was telling me he went on a bulk for like 3 years, and then he came back just a monster. And
I wrestled with him
he's killing guys.
in Wisconsin, like before I went to Vegas or
Mhm.
before I went to Mexico,
Yeah.
and like he has a bull like tattoo on his shoulder,
Oh yeah.
and like no joke, like he is a definition of a bull. Like,
He won this year, right?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
He got like the Greco Wrestler of the Year or something.
Really?
hmm
Hmm.
I think he got wrestler of the year too,
Okay.
like in general.
That's cool.
He's like that guy is so down to earth and one of the coolest, most humble guys I've met out there.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like he can turn it up and be one of the most competitive people
That's cool.
out there. Like
Yeah. So to pursue making an Olympic team, where would you want to go train?
well, as of right now, like I'm moving to Bismarck, so
Yeah.
I'll probably train out of Greco or I'll train out of Bismarck.
Yeah. Just go to the Mat Pack room.
They're like gorillas
Sure.
and like train, just train and stay, basically just like staying in shape. I mean, Greco is like fundamental, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
You just, if you can hand fight a kid for 6 minutes, you can win a match.
Yep.
Like, I'm not a kid that's like gonna try and throw you over my head. Like, Bruce Mo's emphasis is like, if you can hand fight a kid for 6 minutes, you'll win a match, 2-1. You don't need to win fancy. But in that's how like I strategize my wrestling matches was like, I'm not trying to take you down necessarily,
Mm-hmm.
but like I'll hand fight you and make you look bad. Then you get put down and then I reverse lift and throw you.
And then you get the new button.
Yeah. No, like there was like always every time I'd put a kid down, like I would do this thing where it's like I walked around the circle on the wider side,
Yeah.
and I'm like, oh yeah, like I'm about to fuck up. I'm about to mess this kid up.
Yeah. You're about to fuck this kid up.
Yeah, and like every time I would look at my coaches, which was usually like Coach Matt or Obi, or like Saran sometimes, and they'd be like, go get it, like go get it. Like it was just like almost like I completely forgot how tired I was, or like if I was tired previous to that. But as soon as you get put down, it's like a whole amp up in my body to where it's like, oh yeah, like now it's my turn.
Yeah. Yeah, and I don't even think you really realize that you're doing it, but that's like a big thing that psychologists talk about is like having a mental reset like that. And it works out nice because in Greco you get the reset because they put them down.
Mm-hmm.
Like you doing that's pretty good.
Because there's just like an amp up, and I'm like, yeah.
Yeah.
Like I wasn't even tired beforehand,
That's
Because
sweet.
I was just like so excited to try and like throw you on your head. I
Yeah.
love that part of it, but yeah, no. So I'll probably train out Bismarck with like Steve Monk
Yeah.
and those guys, and like Justin, and he's gonna coach me and stuff. And then like I've been in like the last like couple weeks, I've been invited out to like quite a few places to go train
Sure.
and like check out, and they're like, oh, we could change this of your style, or like you could do this, we could show
Yeah.
you. But
And I'm sure you could pick up a job pretty much anywhere if you wanted. Or,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and then like, but one thing I think that's cool about what we got here at ESU is like a bunch of these schools have like big RTCs,
Yeah.
big name coaches and everything, and I feel like Obi's doing a great job here building like that atmosphere with like, and like Nick runs Bison Wrestling Club, like great, but like what we had 4 Greco All-Americans
One champ too.
and 1 champ, and under Bruce Mo, who's in his 60s, it's almost 70s.
Yeah. It's like,
Coaching
who's
us.
this guy?
Like, and he's wrestling himself. Like,
Yeah.
what we're able to do is like what, I don't know, not like dissing anyone, but like Northern Michigan, they wrestle Greco all year round, and like, granted, yes, their kids are good. They're like, they got a very good program, very good kids, but like, we're doing close to, you know, like theoretically like good numbers like that.
Yeah.
Just off of like a couple months of training in RTC and like what
Yeah.
Bruce shows us and everything. Like that's awesome, I think. Like,
Yeah.
You like take Shiloh for example. That guy did like what 2 Greco practices like this whole
Yeah.
year, and Buddy went out there and won.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like we don't have like the most, but like we're making do with what we got, and what we got's pretty good. So we're gonna use that to the best of our ability, and I think it's gonna work out great. Cause like the coaches we have, they might not have like the highest accolades, but I think we have some of the best coaches, like the brains, their styles, and I think like all 3 of them have like their own different style that they can like tailor to like certain wrestlers on our team, which I think is really cool. Cause like Obi, he has his own style, and like it can even work for like some of the bigger guys, cause he's so good at holding his position and then just waiting for you to make a mistake, and then he's gonna capitalize on that. But then you get Mattingly, who has like the Casey Cunningham background, who has that funky style. He can scramble really good, and like him and Drex pair up really good because like that's Drex's style, and like Secoy's like that too. So like some guys are tailored to him, and then Matt's just like a go forward hand fight guy. He's nothing pretty, but he's gonna like get his stuff. He's just gonna grind it out, and I think like what they're doing with us is it's gonna work out great.
I totally agree with that, and I think for us, it's like kind of looking at the 3, and it's like pick your Pokemon almost, and it matters because it's like if you go to the right guy who gets kind of understands your style, it's like this can be everything for you, and it's like I know for me personally, like you said with Mattingly, with Drex and Secoy, like the more I wrestle with him, Malcolm is how I want to wrestle. It's like he's straight, fundamental, he's in your face, he does the little things right, and it's like it just makes sense for me. And I feel like for everybody, Russell's a little different, just kind of gravitate towards what you think.
Even like if you're getting one thing from this coach and then using another thing from this, like you can kind of mesh it together and make it work.
I would agree, for sure. Yeah.
It's like even like Coach Matt, like he said he didn't know too much about Greco to me, but he's like I picked it up and learned it so quick just to help teach you some things.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, I consider him a Greco coach. Like, you know,
Yeah.
he's been scrapping with me for a couple months now and like showing me different things, and I'm like, oh,
For sure.
And he was at like that one Nebraska club too when he was in college, where Joe Adams goes. I think.
Yeah.
WC or
And he just goes hard as shit. So it's like that's gonna already make you pretty good at Greco. He's a good hand fighter and he goes hard as shit.
And he's
so
competitive. as shit.
and he's competitive. So it's like you're probably gonna do okay.
Mhm.
And a high level athlete as well, obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah. Crazy. The real important question though is, what's your favorite dessert?
You asked me this like when we were in Vegas. Man, if I had to pick a favorite dessert, I'm probably gonna go with like a strawberry cheesecake. But like I can't have it warm though. It's gotta be like
Ice cold.
Like not ice cold.
Not
but,
ice
like,
cold.
You know, like a little
Moderate
crisp,
cold.
a little crisp where you're like, oh yeah, that's cool.
Like in the fridge, not in the freezer, kind of.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, like in the fridge and on the fridge. Like it's just gotta have like a, you know, like that nice little coolness to it. I like cold stuff, so
Yeah.
like food and everything.
Yeah, I feel like a good cheesecake stuff.
Yeah, I can't
But
go wrong
it's
with
gotta be
that.
like, it's gotta have like that strawberry syrup, some
Ooh.
strawberries on it, you know.
Yeah. Real
I'm not a plain, like, okay, I am a very plain Jane guy, but
This
Like-
guy doesn't put any condiments on anything. It's messed up.
no, it's, you, like, I save myself like 100-some thousand calories a year just by doing what I do,
You are right.
you know?
Yeah, but it tastes like shit.
Yeah.
No, it's good, it's
It's
good.
not as good. You can't convince me that not putting ketchup on a burger is better than a burger with ketchup. You can't convince me.
I actually ate burgers like plain, like just patty and bun, until I got the NDSU, and I think it was like Coach Kish made fun of me for not having cheese on it, and I tried it, and I was like, wow, this is pretty good.
So have you tried ketchup, mustard, relish? Like
Yeah,
those
no.
things?
Well, I tried ketchup when I was younger, and my mom tried tricking me into it, you know?
Yeah.
And like I knew right away, and then like I built up this lie that I'm allergic to ketchup. Like, you guys, my parents, like.
But you haven't tried it again since then?
No,
See, I think we're not giving it
No,
a fair test here.
I could smell it, and I'd probably gay. Like,
No
the smell of
way.
it, Yeah.
No way.
Like it's
What?
I just.
So you were just like, you ate something like, yeah, I'm allergic to this.
Yeah,
That's just,
yeah.
Dude, for the
I-
rest of the pod, we just gotta have this right in the middle just because.
Like I don't know what it is. It's like the taste and everything of it also is just disgusting to me.
Oh
Like, I don't know. I don't know.
Big ketchup guy. Like, put it on a lot of
Oh, I love ketchup too. There's so many things that it just makes slightly better.
stuff. Mm-hmm.
Not really though, but
Yes, 100%. But no,
there's like
each to their own.
sauces just in general. They kind of sauces don't appeal to me. I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, I do eat wings with like barbecue,
Yeah.
but like I ain't dipping that in ranch anyway.
Yeah. I don't know.
It's one way to do it.
The biggest thing I get problems with like with family, they're all like have cheese sticks with like marinara sauce and stuff. That's normal, like that's chill, you know?
You're good with that.
Yeah.
You're good. Okay.
Or like pizza sauce, that
Yeah.
I'm fine with, but like ketchup. And my mom always claims like it's the same thing. Tomatoes, it's made out of the same stuff, and I'm like, not really though, but. And like this stuff, if you open this, like there's bug juice like
Oh my
in it, and
No,
ketchup.
no, no. There's not bug juice. That's just because there's vinegar in here, so it
No
distills.
man, trust me.
Wait, it's-
It's bugs juice. It's
Oh
bug
my
juice.
god.
You guys are all
This
drinking
guy.
bug juice.
Are
Bug
you
juice.
serious?
Yeah.
Why? Why do you think that?
I seen it on TikTok.
It's definitely right. TikTok, yeah.
No,
We're not even gonna argue that one.
you don't need to. Alright, I gotta end with this question. What or who is the most impressive person you've ever met in your life?
100% my dad.
And why?
I'd say my dad, hands down, just because of like the willingness he's gone through in life to offer like me, my brother, my sister, my mom, you know, he tries to provide anything and everything possible for us, and like I've single-handedly seen the dude like get home from work and then like basically sleep like an hour or two and drive me to a wrestling tournament in a different state, you know?
Yeah.
Like, the things he's done and gone through and the hours that my dad has put in to provide and, like, show me and my brother what the standard is or what he wants us to look up to, you know? Is, like, incredible. My dad, there's no one that I don't think that would believe works harder than my dad. Like, the things he does and the times he put in and just everything he does, you know, he based it towards trying to better my life and my brothers and sisters, and like the openness, connection I have with my dad, as in like there's times where he calls me and he's like, I feel bad because, you know, like people are going on vacation, you know, maybe like I feel bad because we never went on vacation and stuff. I'm like, dude, it's all right.
Yeah.
Like, we don't need to go on vacation. You guys took me to Super 32, wrestling tournament across the country. You know?
Yeah.
It's
It's like going to another place doesn't change the relationship you have with
Yeah.
your family.
Yeah, and like I know when I first got to college, I could definitely say like I was a little bit on the quieter side of like talking to my parents right away,
Yeah.
just because I was like so open and free. I just wanted to explore, and
For sure.
you know, it's kind of like I didn't lose that connection, but it's like wasn't talking to my parents on a daily basis, and now it's like where I'll call my dad and be like, hey, what's up, dude? How's it going? You know, or like every Friday I call him and I'm like, we made it, dude, we made it, it's a weekend, you know,
Yeah.
stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I don't know, my dad, he's taught me so much in life, and one thing that he taught me, and like I tell you guys, and you guys could tell anyone else, but like as in like a money aspect and work life aspect, if you want something and like you don't have it and like you can't afford it, like you shouldn't be asking other people to help you out with it. You need to go get it yourself. That's something he's always taught me, is like, oh well, like, hey, can I get this? You know, blah blah. And he's like, yeah, you can go buy it yourself. And I'm like, I got the money. Well, then it looks like you don't need it. You know,
Yeah.
you gotta go. If you want that bad, you can go get it. You know, and
Yeah.
that's something that he's always taught me to work towards, and like just be grateful for the opportunities that you come across and everything. But yeah,
Yeah, that motto right there is how you build great, respectable sons like yourself. I hope parents take that advice like all the time. I want to take that towards my kids if I have any.
Yeah, I mean, that's how I was raised. Like, I worked on the farm all the time, so I had money. So it was like, you want to go out and go eat, want to get ice cream or something, it's like, you're paying for it. It's like, you have money, you work. Like, if you want to like go out and have fun and do fun things, you're going to work for it and you're going to spend your money. Or like, if you want to go buy something, like a motorcycle or something, like I bought like a dirt bike when I was younger, and they're like, you're going to use your money and we're not going to help you with it. Like, that's you. I mean, it's your fun, it's your toy, and it's going to be on you to go buy.
it also like builds like a maturity level.
Yeah, and like a good character in person.
Mm.
Because it's not like, they're not just handing you money, like, here, go have fun. It's like, you gotta work for it, gotta save that money, gotta put it away. It might take like a year, and then once you get it, you're like, yeah, it's fun.
It's way more rewarding.
Yeah, you're like, I worked my ass off
Yeah.
for this.
Absolutely.
It makes it so fun.
For sure. Yeah, that's great. Some great advice.
And like it also like carries over, you know, to wrestling. Just if you want to be the best, you know, like you gotta go earn it, you know.
Yeah.
Things like that.
Delayed gratification.
But
Yeah, I suppose probably wrap her up. So
You
thanks
gotta
for
do
coming
your,
on,
you
Clay.
gotta do your blind
No, thank you.
ranking.
No, we're gonna ditch that.
Okay.
Okay.
Not a fan.
Yeah, I don't know. I just because the problem is it's like they don't really know what's coming, so then we'll like randomly off dive into things. Because like my goal there was so we could edit just so it was like bing 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 bing, but like with Berwick and Drex, like they'll talk about, you know, like you'll ask them and then they'll say, oh, you just one time, you know, and that's like what I think everybody's gonna do. So we'll just put that in the back burner. But yeah, so thanks for coming on.
Thank you
Clay.
guys for having me.
Really appreciate it. Yeah, man.
Glad I can make it on after pushing out for a couple of weeks.
Yeah, appreciate
I'm
it.
busy, but thanks for having me on.
Best of luck with
Thank you.
future